Hello everyone, and welcome to my video on the application that I think would best fit my needs for the STEM or STEAM portion of the building of the application. So I always had the idea of making some sort of website or some type of page or something like that to aid my students that are going through the ECM program for motor control and industrial wiring. At first, my idea was Instagram, just because that's the application that I'm most familiar with. I figured I would put up videos explaining key portions of the labs that they would be going through, trying to help them get through it. There's usually 18 to 36 students in a class, usually 18 in a lab or a shop class. So it's hard for me to get to every single student that might need my help. So we do encourage students to help each other, and most of them have cell phones anyways nowadays out with them. So if I had a Facebook page or an Instagram page, I think it might help them just go there, see if they could find the help that they need, and then continue to move on. One of the things that I was looking for as far as standards, I came across the science teaching standards, the professional development standards, and then also the assessment standards. I think this applies to my situation pretty well. I was never really aware that we should have different standards, not just for the classroom or for the students, but also for the teachers and assessment. We do have some standards for assessment in my program, and those are typically for competency exams. So some of the ones that we have for our students, we ask that they're able to read and write and communicate well through direction or with others, work well with others in a group, troubleshoot using a multimeter, a digital multimeter. So that requires them being able to see what the multimeter showing them and know what that means. If it's reading a voltage, if it's reading resistance, if it's reading current, we expect them to be able to know what that means and troubleshoot the circuit. A big thing for us is being able to distinguish between colors. Obviously with electrical work, if you can't tell the difference between the color of wire, you can run into some pretty big hazards as far as health and safety. So that's what we kind of have in place for students. Obviously, it's an edited version, just a short clip of it. And then one that I kind of threw together for teachers or instructors rather, that I got kind of from this professional development standard here. We should definitely hold ourselves to be accountable and to be able to clearly communicate and get through the theories and directions that we want for our students and what we need for them to get. That's a big one. And then also developing an application, we want to make it fair. I was looking at this TED Talk video right here from Margaret, and one of the things that she talks about, and I was kind of taken back by it. It really meant a lot to me. But that 1 million people use Google searches and 1.23 billion people use Facebook every day. That leaves the door open in hopes for me, if I'm going to create something for my students, for them to be able to use it, and maybe it'll grow to be as big as a Facebook or something like that. One thing that she keeps in mind when creating, and one thing she recommends that you keep, two things she recommends that you keep in mind when creating these apps, is audacity and humility. Having the audacity to think that what you're creating might be useful to someone and might be able to help them, and then also humility and understanding that the thing that I'm creating is not for me, it's for students, or it's for people that might be in a situation where they could use a little bit of extra help. So that humility aspect is big. But overall, I think I would probably use Facebook at this point. I haven't really used Facebook yet. Believe it or not, I've had a profile way back, but never really used it a whole lot, and didn't like the invasion of privacy that it allows for. But I think it's a definitely useful tool. I like the aspect of creating that page and having just a page where students can go. So I'd probably still consider using Facebook, and hope to develop off of that. I don't think a 3D or a virtual application, a virtual reality thing would really benefits the students all that much. I definitely think something where they could just look at schematics and talk about them a little bit might be a good spot to start for me. So without continuing on for too long, I'm just past the 5-minute mark, so please leave anything you got for me in the comments. Thank you very much. Bye.